Hello everyone, this is Nigerian Mindset, your weekly social awareness, motivational and educational program on YouTube. I'm Dr. Nana Akeze. But first, here are my views. Power is the ability to control things, ability to influence people to endorse you or your ideas, ability to change local, state, or even nation's affairs. So what do we need to do with our power? With the power you have in your possession, that position has given to you, what do we need to do with it? According to Lord Action, power tends to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Therefore, if power is corrupted, it is critical that society demands for moral authority be considered as important in order to sustain and use the power in our care appropriately. David Brain further stated that power corrupts, but in the real sense, power attracts the corruptible. Power attracts people, or the corruptible. It is my own view that though power corrupts, but fear is the ultimate corruption. Fear of losing power is the major reason for corruption for those who are subject to power. That fear of losing that popularity, of losing that power, that is the reason why they become corrupt. Beloved Nigerians, why are some Nigerian leaders finding it difficult to abdicate power after ruling in some cases for a very long time? Why? I encourage Nigerian leaders today to have a change of mindset and start thinking like every other nation leaders. Nigerian leaders, learn to fall back in line after your time in office. Take after great nations like America, where we have so many former presidents around doing other things, changing the world. Doing so is critical to the success of our nation. We need to learn to abdicate power once we are done with that position. Whatever the reason that makes you cling to power after office, study shows that the people who cling to power are self-centered and have no love for their country or care about the society. It is important to develop a change of mindset towards helping the society and not counting the cost. As I have stated repeatedly, that when you have the chance to make a difference, do the right thing for your people. Do the right thing by your people. Serve the people and make your mark. That is what is important. At the end of your tenure of office, simply start a foundation. In your name, contribute to the causes you care for. We can achieve a viable society of our collective dreams without sticking to power by hook or by means. When you have your foundation, you can continue from where you stopped while you were in office. Nigerian leaders, let us learn from other nations like America, where former presidents after office become a Sunday school teacher. Yes, a Sunday school teacher. Jimmy Carter served as the 39th president of the United States. After his office, he started a foundation of waging peace, fighting disease, and building hope around the world. Nigerian leaders, you can copy this model. You don't need to hold on to that power. You can start a foundation and start to do and do all that you love to continue to do with your name because you have a platform. When you watch CNN, most of the analysts there and the commentators, aside from the young people that you see there, they are all former governors, former senators, former representatives, former this, former that. They are the commentators in CNN. Why? Because they have that platform already. So they have those experiences. So CNN, we employ them. Then they start to become commentators and analysts. And that's why countries like America are great, because they have those ideas. Nigerian leaders, let us copy this model. Every time you speak about the situation in Nigeria with anyone, you will hear, let us pray for Nigeria. Let us pray for Nigeria. For what? What are we praying for Nigeria for? Nigeria need action. Everybody have been praying for Nigeria. But what we need is action actually. Prayers without action is zero. I cannot stress that enough. There is no point to see a problem you can solve, then resort to endless prayers. If my pen fall on the ground and God has given me the ability to pick it up, why do I need to pray for that? I'll simply bend down and pick up my pen because God has already equipped me with that ability to do that. Pray for things that you can do and saying pray for Nigeria, pray for Nigeria. We know what the problem is. That is unrealistic and it's deceptive. We need to stop saying that. We need to start doing action. We have to understand that God has already equipped us with the capability and wisdom to take care of issues by creating us in the first place. Nigerian leaders, give back to our society. Give back to your society. Give back to the Nigerian society. And free Nigerians from the chaos. All this chaos that we are having in Nigeria is hopelessness. Kidnap here, kidnap there, killing here. I mean, it's not necessary. Even though I know that problems are endless, but when people have hope, there are people who are just hopeless in Nigeria. When people know that there's hope, all these crimes here and there will reduce. And I believe that our leaders know about this. You know that what the people need is hope. Once there's no hope, people will resort to criminal actions here and there. Nigerian leaders, give hope to our society. The power is in your hand. You can do it. Do great things for the society when the time is still on your side. You can do it. That being said, this brings me to our topic on sound reasoning, research and development with our college and university systems in Nigeria. At this point, I want to address my fellow educators in Nigeria within the higher education institution. I mean institutional leaders, deans, head of department, and professors or instructors, those we call lecturers in Nigeria. It is imperative that you all understand this point, that the job of instructional teaching includes learning and understanding the abstraction of your topic in order to break those phenomena down to your learners. Why I understand that teaching is tasking and should be duly remunerated, compensated, and respected, because it's not an easy thing to be a professor. It's not an easy thing to teach. But to the teachers, to my fellow educators in Nigeria, enough of these lackadaisical attitudes towards teaching and learning in Nigeria. the idea that anything goes and it is okay not to update our knowledge and teaching experience should be put to rest once and for all. While the learners are responsible for learning, our jobs as instructors, particularly those who supervise capstone, thesis, and dissertation, include breaking down the process of research. I can't even remember anything while I was in the college. What is it that they taught me about research? I don't remember having those type of lecturers that will actually come to the class and teach like I am doing now. We need to understand and specialize in use and mechanics of research and methodology to be able to break it down for students. You need to know the mechanics in order for you to break it down for students. Our ability to ground our knowledge will help us give our best in terms of supervising the learners. We need to let the student understand that there is qualitative and there is quantitative research. Looking back now, my first degree, I saw that I wrote qualitative, quantitative, mixed method, everything all put together. No, we need to learn and teach students the difference between qualitative, quantitative, and mixed methods. We need to let students know that quantitative research involves the use of numbers, while qualitative research involves words. Quantitative research can be generalized, while qualitative can be replicated and is transferable. When I mean generalization, in quantitative research, it means it involves drawing broad conclusions from particular observations. You can draw a generalized, conclusion on any particular observation. Analysis of quantitative research involves statistical method and maybe thematic deduction. All of this you need to teach the students. While replication in qualitative research means the repetition of a research study, generally with different situations and different subjects, to determine if the basic findings of the original study can be applied to other participants and circumstances in a different location, say from New York to California. If we carry a research out now in New York in qualitative study, we want to see the subject that we have here in New York. If that same study is taken to California and have those type of subjects there, if they are going to have the same type of result, they should be able to have the same type of results. Please let us as educational leaders work to build rubrics. I don't remember knowing anything called rubrics while I was in school. We need to build rubrics and improve rubrics continuously. Let academic entrepreneurs and leaders begin to link up with the world and check the prevalence of plagiarism within the educational system in Nigeria. There's so much plagiarism everywhere. Plagiarism in the pulpits. People will just watch some show and xerox it and go and start talking as if it's their own idea. There's plagiarism everywhere. In the school, there's plagiarism. We need to stop that. I get it that all of this comes down to electricity for data collection and preservation. Nevertheless, it's time to ask that teachers understand the abstraction behind the phenomena they teach, and in turn breaks them down to learners. When learners understand the mechanics, process, and procedures for research, they become more confident to address common problems within our communities through through or using their research topics. If learners do not understand the abstraction of what they need to do, the mechanics behind the research, that's why they study osmosis, Mungo Park type of studies, Oliver Twist and all of that. But when they know the phenomena they're actually studying, then they will look deeply and they will look inward. Then the situations that we have in Nigeria, people will pick it up and start to study it, and we will have solutions. That is the reason. When learners understand the mechanics of research, then it becomes easy for them to choose research topic that target the community issues, and their findings will help resolve the community problems. But when they do not understand the abstraction, and those abstraction is not the mechanics behind the research is not broken down by the teachers, then they don't know what they are doing. Then they will choose anything, Oliver Twist, Mungo Park, and Eze goes to school type of research. I charge you to step up your work. All the academicians in Nigerians, I charge you today to step up your work with educating our leaders of tomorrow. We must begin to expand on the mechanics of researching. We must let students understand the process of researching. We must begin to provide learners with rubrics to help guide their work. We need to do that. Rubric is like student Bible to research writing. Without rubric, what are you writing? Because rubric is the one that will give you what you need to do in this section or in that section. But without rubrics, what do you even write? What are you writing? Research rubric must be provided to all students. We must begin to explain with clarity that there are three major research methods: the quantitative, qualitative, and the mixed method. We must begin to let students understand how and why of these methods. Students must know the phenomenon they are studying. If they do not know the phenomenon, what do you expect them to write? They will write gibberish and plagiarize and Xerox here and Xerox there. And even with the Xeroxing, they still will not know anything. You need to let them know the differences of quantitative research, that it involves numbers. Qualitative research involves words. Why mixed method is a combination of both. We must begin to make it easy for learners to specialize in one method of researching. We cannot be jack of all trades. No, we cannot. We have to have areas of specialization. Like myself, I'm specialized in qualitative research. Yes, qualitative research include phenomenology, case studies, grounded theories, and ethnography. While quantitative research involves numbers. Nigerian educators, we have to help address the issue of plagiarism. Now, we need to address the issue of plagiarism. It is eating deep into our system and devaluing our standards. People do not know how to, give credit to the sources that they use. In a globalized world, learners must understand the implication of plagiarism and the effect on intellectual property. Listen, plagiarism is big in most civil world right now and should be taken more seriously in Nigeria. There are plagiarism checkers software that schools in Nigeria must begin to subscribe to check plagiarism. Yes. And what is plagiarism? Plagiarism is the act of using another person's ideas or work as if it's your own. You will just carry somebody's ideas, somebody's work, somebody's speech, and just start speaking about it as if it's your own. Whether it's in the pulpit, in the school, organization, or just gathering for pleasures, you must acknowledge the work that you are using. It is very important that you acknowledge that this work, I took it from so place. You will cite that person, then paraphrase for you to be safe. That is how it is in academic world. You can also paraphrase and cite the original work you are adopting. That is allowed. Nigerian leaders, it is time to release electricity to our nation. All of this will be made possible and easy if we have electricity. And I know that the Nigerian leaders that we know can do it. Most of the Nigerian leaders that come to abroad, they see how things are here, but they will go back home and just provide security and everything for themselves. This is not good. The nation has suffered enough. Nigeria as a nation has suffered enough. We need to move forward. And you can do it. What joy will it give to you as a leader to see your people suffering? You need to release us. Release the Nigerian society. Release electricity. It all boils down to electricity. We need electricity to move forward as a nation. With electricity, most of the problems we are currently having in Nigeria, which include epileptic educational system, will be reduced to about 50% or more. Government or politician alone cannot solve it. We need to join hands and help Nigeria to become secure for all. Government and the people must work together to find a common solution to problems that exist. There's no problem in this world that has no solution. And problems are endless. So are solutions. You just need to look for it. With steady power supply, most people may install cameras all around our communities. My brothers and sisters in Nigeria, education system is important. Please facilitate a new direction for Nigerian education and research. We cannot just be cool about being called professors and you are not doing what you're supposed to do. You are just being called professors or lecturers. Let your work speak for you. Work on our knowledge and experience to help focus our system through innovation and research. One of the reasons people are not investing in Nigeria is insecurity. That is lack of security for lives and property. No sane businessman or woman will risk money in areas where security is not guaranteed. Guess what? With steady electricity, supply, insecurity can be mitigated. They will mitigate insecurity. There are many less expensive security cameras already in the market around the world. But what is missing in Nigeria is lack of power. Think about this. Think about cameras along our highways, toll gates, campuses. All this kidnapping thing will reduce. This is possible with steady supply of electricity. Our hospitals will function better than any other hospitals. We need electricity. People will get information on what is going on in other states and demand same from their leaders. We need electricity for security. With electricity, plagiarism will be reduced. If there's steady power supply in our system to check submission of projects through the software instead of manual techniques, which is mostly used now and not effective and most not practiced, we got to move past this. We need to move forward. Champion and donate to the cause you care for through your foundation. Nigerian leaders, you can do it. Set up a foundation. You can do it. Nigerian leaders, you all need to take a deep breath. Do the needful for your nation. Give back to your community. Just like the previous leader released the phone system that has brought tremendous development to Nigeria, you can do it. You can champion and release electricity to the nation. Together, we can make Nigeria work again. Nigerian people, what legacy do we want to leave in the heart of others? The choices we make now as individuals will determine our legacy. Let your legacy reflect your action in the lives you touch. Let's work to leave a legacy of greatness for future generations. Thank you for joining me on Nigerian Mindset this week. Please join me next week to continue our discussion on issues affecting our great nation, Nigeria. My website is standingbyyourdream.com. Don't forget to look out for my book, Growing Up African Girl Child in Ithaca. I see you next week. Bye-bye.
Young